Even though my college days are long gone, sometimes I can't help but relive the good old days, especially when the Fiji guys from Auburn University messaged me on Instagram letting me know about their crazy action home game. Andrew and I embark on a road trip to Alabama where we're greeted by Killian, who buys us tickets to the Auburn Rodeo for some drinking and country music. Andrew and I don't really fit in, but where we do fit in is back at Killian's pad, where all the guys have gathered for some friendly 2-5 poker action. But even though it's a college home game, the $10 and $20 straddles were on throughout almost the entire night. Jumping right into the poker, we pick up pocket fives on the button. I'm warning all of you guys now, tonight is the night of pocket pairs. But what's better than a pair, you might ask? How about three of a kind on the very first hand of the night? 7-5-4, bang, we flop middle set. I get sneaky on the flop and check behind. The turn comes the 8 of diamonds, and Andrew now takes the bait and fires out into me for $35. Could go for a raise here, but any 6 has me beat, so I decide just to put in the call, which brings in a brick on the river, the queen of diamonds. Having position here is pretty nice. We get to see what Andrew does, and he fires out big here for $200, over betting the size of the pot. We have a set, but any 6 has us beat. Andrew has bet the turn and river. I think he would give up on the river with a lot of his missed hearts, so I'm putting him on 2 pair, a better set or a straight.
Do you have aces? I'd better. I have a hand that you don't think I have.
When it's all said and done, I came out to Alabama to fold a set the very first hand, and he shows 9-6 offsuit for the turned straight. What a fold by me, saving an additional $200, and the nail in the coffin for Andrew there. He doesn't make any additional money. All right, redemption with pocket fives. I open them up from under the gun, and Andrew puts in the call. He wants more smoke. Let's see if I can outplay him this hand. The flop comes queen 6-5, bang, we flop bottom set this time, and it's gonna be pretty hard for him to win this hand. I decided to get sneaky and start with a check. I would do that with ace king, ace jack, pocket 10s, pocket 9s out of position would start with a check. So I check, he takes the bait and fires out for $50. Check raise would look super strong here, so instead of doing that, I just put in the call. The turn is good for my range. It comes the ace of spades. Could have some leads in this situation, but it's a college home game, and we're drinking, so I'm not playing 2 GTO here. I check it over to Andrew, and unfortunately, he checks behind. The river card now comes the queen of diamonds, which I think is a very good card for myself. I think Andrew could definitely bet the flop with a hand like queen 10, queen jack, king queen, and then check on the ace of spades turn. So if I'm putting him on a strong hand like a queen, I want to go large or go for the check raise. I really want to make more money in this hand, so I take the surefire route of putting the money in myself, and I fire out for an over pot size bet of $200. Hopefully Andrew puts in the call, but that's not what he does. He actually jams all in for $730. Can you believe it? I flop bottom set, river a boat. Well, he didn't just ship it in the middle, he's shipping it all over to me. I put in the snap call, he turns over trip queens on the river. What a brutal card for him.
Let's go, baby. Good show. Great show.
$1,800 coming my way, and we're 1 for 2 with pocket fives, but we have Andrew's entire stack. Let's go.
Here we go.
Implementing some new graphics here, the $10 and $20 straddle are in blue. There's a limp from Killian over there, and I decide to go large here with the ladies and raise it up to 125 bones. Andrew wants to get all of his chips back, decides to put in the 3-bet from the $20 straddle and makes it $300 to go. Killian is out like a light, folds his cards back over to me. A 4-bet I think would be too strong. I'm gonna play a pot out of position against Andrew, putting in the call. 625 in the middle, and I know the title said I flopped 4 sets in a row to start the night, but I gotta be honest, I lied. I actually don't flop a set here. The flop comes queen, queen 10, bang, we flop quads. What a run to start this night here, and Andrew continues and fires out for $200. How can this get any better? At this point, I'm starting to feel bad for Andrew, and if this is how my night is gonna go, well, all the chips you're seeing across the table and to my right, well, they'll probably be in my stack. Not gonna get greedy here and go for a raise. I think that would just be way too strong.
He's got aces. I don't have aces.
Before the turn comes out, I show the other side of the table my quads. It's kind of a friendly game, and I would also do this with some bluffs, but look at Killian's face. He kind of gave away that I have quads. He thought the hand was over. I was just trying to be a funny guy here at this home game and show my hand. I think Andrew picked up on that and checks behind on the turn. Might have lost some value there. In the river comes a 7 of clubs. I think I only have one option here. If I had some sort of bluff, even though Killian gave it away that I have the nuts here, I probably would go for a large sizing. I jam all in, covering him for $500, and Andrew snap folds.
Yeah.
I turn over my quad so him and the rest of this side of the table can see what I had. Andrew had ace-king offsuit, so he wasn't going to put more money in the middle, but a pretty crazy way to start this session, a $1,500 pot being shipped over my way, and let's just say it's not Andrew's night. Alright, I promise I'm done lying in this video. I open it up to $20 with pocket threes, 2 calls, and it's starting to get pretty boring at this point. The flop comes 8-8-3, bang, we flop a boat. Action checks over to me, and into a $60 pot, I go for a 1/3 pot size bet. We pick up 1 caller, that is Max. Off to the turn we go, which comes the 5 of spades. Max checks it over to me for a second time. I Cinco de Mayo him with a $55 bet, and that's all she wrote. Max makes the correct fold, and I turn over the 3 of hearts, letting him know that I at least had 2 pair in that hand. After an amazing meal by one of the roommates, Jackson, Cole ends up banging Andrew. Pause. We get back into the action with the $10 and $20 straddles on. King, queen of spades is what I look down at. A beautiful, beautiful hand. Of course, you know we're gonna have to punish that open from Grant with a 3-bet to 175. He puts in the call. Off to a flop we go, which comes ace-6-4, pretty great for my range. In case I don't hit a king or a queen, I have a backdoor spade draw and a backdoor Broadway draw, so I go very small here for $100. Grant folds, easy game. The $20 straddle is back out there by Grant. Killian limps. I decide to limp with my favorite hand, pocket sevens. Let's see what kind of action we get out of the straddles. Andrew decides to bump it up to $100. Grant is out of there. Killian calls, and of course, I didn't decide to limp in with a pocket pair. The best one to be exact, just to fold. I put in the additional 80 bucks. Off to a flop we go, which surprisingly does not give me a set. How bad do I run, you guys? The flop comes 10-5-3 rainbow. Action checks to Andrew, who fires out for 125. Killian decides not to take a stand, folds his cards, but I'm not gonna let Andrew run over the table that easily. I decide to defend for the entire table's integrity here, put in the call, and the turn comes the 8 of diamonds. Nothing for me to do other than check. At this point, I'm bluff catching with 3rd pair. But like a bodybuilder without his steroids, Andrew makes a weak play and checks behind. The river card comes, the 5 of hearts, and now I think we have 2 very good options. We could obviously check it over to Andrew, hope he checks behind, or I could go for a 1/10 of the pot blocker bet. If he has a hand that contains a 10 in it, well, I think he's gonna go larger than $55. But if I just toss it out there, there's a chance he just calls. The Cinco de Mayo stays goated. I toss it out there. He snap calls me with top. What a nit. Not going for the razor. Didn't think I would call with worse. Well, he was right, but I think I ended up losing the minimum in that hand. 672 over to Andrew, and he does have 3 bang stickers on him, but at least he's going in the right direction. All right, let's get back to our winning ways. In this one, there's a raise to $20, and I look down at pocket 4s. Not coming in for a 3-bet. I just call. Andrew decides to put in the 3-bet, though, to 80 bucks. He's feeling pretty good after winning that last hand. Original razor folds. I put in the call, and the flop comes king 6-5 with 2 hearts. I decide to check call on the flop, not believing Andrew once again, and the turn comes the 8 of spades. Following the trend on the flop, I check it over to him, and now he fires out for 125. It's a very, very small bet. What's running through my head right now is he obviously could have a king, but I think more likely than that, when he chooses a small sizing, he's gonna have a lot of random pocket pairs like 7s, 9s. They're just trying to figure out where they're at. He also could have a hand like ace-4 of hearts, ace-10, ace-jack of hearts. I don't think a king goes for a 125 bet into 412 with all of these straight and flush draws out there. So when you think the opponent is weak, sometimes you want to go for a check raise. Usually check raises on the turn are always strength, so it's good to mix in some bluffs here. I guess I could have 4-7 considering I have 2 4s in my hand, but I jam it all in for 625, having him covered. And are we gonna get the fold? No, we get the snap call, so that's definitely not good. I think I would have got him to fold all of his pocket pairs between the king and the 8. A lot of his flush draws might fold as well depending on his mood, but when he snap calls and turns over pocket kings, we're in rough shape. We're gonna run it twice and both boards are obviously no help to me. I was looking to find a 7, $1,500 going over to him, and what's worse than the pot is the bank sticker he's about to put on me as well.
Okay, I'll give you the 500 here.
Wait, no, put on the hat. Let's go big.
I banged Wolfgang.
That's so dumb.
All right, we're on the button with Jack 10 of diamonds. No one wants to spice up the pot. I decide to make it $20 to go. Grant is gonna defend from the big blind, and the flop comes Jack 7-7 with 2 spades. I decide to check back on this flop, which brings in 2 pair for me on the turn, the 10 of spades. Kind of a double-edged sword because there are 3 spades available. Grant bets out small here for $25. I don't see any point in raising. I toss in 1 green chip, and the river card comes the 10 of hearts. Bang, we river a boat. It's a great card because now that I fill up, I'm beating any of his flushes, any of his 7x combinations, as well as all of his ace jack, king jack, and of course any 10 now makes a boat on the river, but it's inferior to my boat. He bets out small here for $60, and I'm obviously gonna go for a raise. I think it's important to get greedy in this spot. I mentioned a ton of hands that he can have here that I have absolutely crushed. So I get greedy and go super large for $475. It's nearly an 8x, you guys, and it's a good learning moment. You don't need to just go 180 bucks here and he snap calls and you were wishing you could have gone more. Go large here, and sometimes, AKA right now, he puts in the call. We're playing a $1,000 pot. I turn over the goods. He shows the 10 of clubs. Cooler river card, but it's kind of what I foreshadowed earlier on. When I'm running this good, you just gotta fold your cards and stay out of the way.
I see the real. I see the real.
Grant's not immune to that bang sticker. It feels pretty good to diversify and not only put him on Andrew. I look down at pocket 4s once again. There's a limp in front of me and I want to play for more. Make it $20 to go. Grant calls and 2 others put it in as well. Going off to a flop 4 ways, which comes 7, 5, 4. Bang! We flop bottom set. The action checks over to me, and these players have no idea the world of hurt they're in this hand. Now, we either could go for a bet here or go for a check call, check raise line. I decided to go with option B. There are a lot of draws out there and 2 pair combinations like 5-4 and 7-5. So I think it's gonna open the door nicely for me here. I check it over to Grant. He takes the bait and fires out for $30. The action's back over to me. I decide just to call here. I think he's gonna blast off on a lot of turns and I can pile the money in there. So I just smooth call, and the turn comes the 10 of spades. Check it over to Grant once again, who's reaching for chips, which is great news. Fires out for $55. I think I make a mistake here and just call. I'm getting wrapped up in the moment, having some drinks, and it's getting a little bit boring flopping all these sets. I'm only joking, you guys, but this is definitely a raise spot. Just calling here allows him to catch up with any of his 5-6, 4-6, or diamond draws. I want to pile the money in now. Look at all those chips he has neatly stacked over there. Well, I want them in my stack. The pot is significantly less than his stack, which means I need to put in money to set up a nice river jam, but I just call, and the river card comes the nut low card, the 6 of diamonds. That was exactly what we were trying to avoid. No sense in leading into Grant here. I check it over to him. He fires out for $95, and I really want to fold. Think about it for a while and realize the price is just way too good. $95 into $347, and it's Grant, so if I lose, we're going out to the bars anyways, and he'll probably just pick up a beer for me. So turn over my bottom set, and he mucks the losing hand, a $442 pot coming over my way. Not exactly sure what he was bluffing with there, but I guess the drinks are on me now. We cash out for a profit of $159, but that won't be leaving Auburn. It's time to hit the bars. Shout out to Max's Vintage Shop for selling me this crazy 4-of-a-kind Auburn football shirt before the game that obviously was the reason I flopped those quad queens earlier on. After one more round of shots chased by sour gummies, we're off to Skybar, but it doesn't take us long to revert back to our degenerate ways. What better place to bust out Poker Bros? If any of you college degenerates want me to show up at your home game this fall, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Wolfgang Poker is my handle. If you want to catch another college poker video right now, there's a few on your screen. Click on one of those to continue. But as for now, I'm signing off. I'll catch you in the next video. As always, peace.